and she is going to be giving us all this information. A very good morning to you, madam.
Good morning. Good morning, viewers. It's not a good morning to me.
Really?
Because
hey.
I don't think, I don't sleep well seeing what is happening to the people that I serve.
Okay.
It doesn't sit well with me. I am, and people have been making a lot of questions about our work, the fact that we are environmental defenders.
Yes, sure.
And we are saying we are not happy with what is happening,
yet
the evictions, yet it is for the good of the environment.
Of the environment, yes.
But I just, before I even go deeper, my name is Rosette Nandutu, and I am the Executive Director of VIDEA Uganda, that is Vijana for Sustainable Development and, what this, and environmental action.
Wow.
So we are not in disagreement with what NEMA is doing. We are actually 100% in agreement with what they are doing. But approach. How they are doing it is what we are concerned with.
So give us an overview of what is happening. Maybe someone does not want to, does not know what is happening in Lubigi wetland. Give us an overview and why is it being done this way?
So what is happening in Lubigi wetland is NEMA is evicting people from the Lubigi wetland because it says they occupied the wetland without permits and all that. Okay. Which, in my understanding, I don't feel like we should even have permits for people to settle in wetlands.
In wetlands.
Because that is encroaching on the environment. It is, we are degrading the environment with actually knowingly.
So there are people who are permitted?
Yes, because NEMA said there are people who have permits to occupy those spaces. You get? Okay. Which I think is not the right thing. I think we should just not have completely people occupy the wetlands. What the concern that people are coming out about, why they are disagreeing with NEMA, personally, VIDEA. And recently we rolled out a press release in partnership with Citizens Concern Africa. I know very many have been seeing SICOA at the front of environment, and so actually when we talked about that, and someone came in the comment section and said, double standards, SICOA, you've been advocating for environmental protection. Now you're saying you're not you're in disagreement with NEMA. No, we are not in disagreement with the evictions. What NEMA is doing is 100% okay, but the approach, how they are doing the evictions, is the wrong approach. Okay. Yes.
So what are the implications of illegal occupation or occupying these wetlands?
When you illegally occupy the wetlands, that is one of the implications. You're going to be evicted, you like it or not. So we always try each and every day to tell the people, to tell Ugandans that, you know what, you should not occupy wetlands, you should not encroach on any water systems, to put up your businesses, to put up a home. But when we look at this, and that's why the ordinary Ugandan is actually crying out there, because, to be honest, NEMA is evicting the vulnerable, and it is leaving the big wigs. No, I was seated and I'm thinking, how big is a domestic home dangerous to the wetland than a fuel petrol station? That is my question. Now you see where I'm going.
Sure.
We are having NEMA evict the vulnerable, and we are leaving businesses that actually more dangerous to our environment standing at Lubigi. If you watched when the opposition,
the
leader of opposition, that is Senyonyi, when he led the team to go and see what is happening at Lubigi, they were tear gassed. Now you wonder why. These people...
I told them to go, but they did not want to go.
No. They are serving the people.
Hey.
Just like VIDEA. We make sure that every program we do, it's rooted in the needs of the people we serve. And who are the people we serve? The communities. The people who are being evicted are the ones we serve. And that's why we keep on telling them, do not occupy the wetland. I want us to understand here. Let's do our work. I thank NEMA for the evictions because it is very good. But let's do our work and also make sure that there is transparency and integrity, which is not seen in this case. So we should make sure whatever we do, let's leverage human rights and the environment. We want social development, economic development, but let's also look at the humanity in us.
Okay. Now, looking at these structures, some of them have been here for some time.
Yes.
I have a question because I have also been seeing people asking so much, majorly to NEMA. Are they not supposed to be inspecting these wetlands? How does someone put up a structure and it is there for all those years and then you abruptly come and you want to take it off?
Thank you. That was my question as well. Because remember these people said they have Bivanja
yes,
in Lubiji wetland. And they said they've been in that place for decades. So I'm wondering, because I saw, was it a 63-year-old woman?
Yeah, carrying her head.
So she says she has been there all her life. So I'm wondering, how did she acquire? And she actually showed the public all her documents that show that she actually owns the Chibanja. So, and now because NEMA came and NEMA told them, you have to go, you have to leave for us. In our records, it shows you're not supposed to be here.
Okay.
And some of these people, for them, what they said is NEMA should work hand in hand with the Buganda Land Board. Because for them, they say they were paying busuru. Is it called busuru? I think it's a kind of tax or something.
Yes, sure.
So if they say, if they have the documents, and NEMA says, no, in our system you're not supposed to be here. Now, for us, what we wanted, or what we want, is NEMA to sit down with those affected communities and the Buganda Land Board. And they know where the root cause is coming from. Because these people are crying, they are claiming this is where the ownership comes from. They've been there for years, and you're evicting them from the land they said they bought. You get?
Okay.
So I think the problem comes with the engagement. NEMA says it gave them time prior to the evictions to sort out themselves. Either you go before the evictions, you find somewhere else, or you wait for the evictions.
Okay. But when the leader of opposition was there, the people were telling him they were not given enough time.
Exactly. Now that is why I'm telling you that the engagement there's a gap. There's a knowledge gap between the affected communities, NEMA, and the what? The Uganda Land Board. We are not leaving them out because the victims say
that's where they belong.
That's where they belong. So we just need NEMA to carry out its operations with integrity and transparency.
Okay. What do you think would have been the best approach?
I think the best approach would be...
Because still we have to conserve the environment.
Yes. Yes, 100%. Because for us, we actually this year, to conserve the environment, we've carried out a number of projects. Just last week we were coming back from Hoima, from tree planting. We've done tree planting around River Rizi. After, if you had all the scenarios that were going around about River Rizi, people were encroaching, illegal sand mining, you see. So that is why I'm telling you we are not in disagreement with what NEMA is doing. But I think the best approach would be to sit down with the affected communities, with these people before, and find out how they got to possess the land. where the houses are seated.
Mm.
And also, if they really agree that they are supposed to be evicted, or if at this time they agree or not agree, and they have been evicted already, we just want NEMA to do some I call it justice, and have everyone, regardless their social status, their economic status, let NEMA have everyone out of the Lubiji wetland. Not evicting a few.
Even those providing employment opportunities.
Exactly. They should evict everyone.
Everyone.
Because this is our environment that we are fighting for. And besides them doing their work, their operations, we are happy and we thank them. But what we need here is justice. Just like they've evicted the vulnerable, is what we are waiting for, to see those big wigs evicted as well.
Okay.
Yes.
So why has it been so comfortable for the vulnerable to be targeted? Do they have not a voice?
I think because they don't have a voice. If you really, you're Ugandan and you know omuntu wawansi toyina wo yogerera nebo yogera bakutwala, you get. So I think because of their social and economic status, so it's been easy sometimes to impose any kind of pressure on that kind of person, not only in maybe NEMA's operations but everywhere. You've been there, you've seen the kind of operations and human rights offenses that have been around. You see that it is very easy to impose the injustice on a vulnerable person than someone who has social and economic status. What people call Ogamba no. Yes.
So these, are they illegal evictions?
They are not illegal evictions.
Then?
They are not illegal evictions. Just like I said, their evictions are in the law. And they are guided by the law. But the approach is the wrong approach.
So NEMA should continue?
As long as they are evicting everyone. And as long as they are having, sustainable solutions, inclusive solutions for everyone.
Okay.
I think before NEMA, I don't know, because they may look at it as, by the way, but it's just a kind of advice. Maybe I think NEMA should government should come up with a policy that before NEMA does its evictions, there should always be a component of compensation.
Okay, that's where I want to head us.
Yes.
To.
They should always have a component of compensation for the evicted.
Okay.
Now, if you look at the situation that is going on right now, where do you think that woman is going to go?
So there is no compensation?
Woman. I don't think there is compensation. Because if they had compensation, Ugandans, you give them and they will move and go. They won't even make noise for you. But I feel like there's just a lot of injustice around here, around this whole thing.
It favors a few.
Yes. So there is need there is need for inclusive dialogues and everything, engagements between the stakeholders who are NEMA and the relevant institutions that can come to give a hand. And also they should also include civil society, because that is a very big component. The people call us that anti-governmental, but no, we are actually the voice for the voiceless.
Okay. And what do you think is the social or economic impact these evictions are bringing about?
Now, when you look at the people that have been evicted, personally, if I was one of them, then I have to look for money. Being that it's even a rainy season, where am I supposed to get shelter? If I have children, where am I going to go? Where am I going to start from? We have to feed. Just take take an example. If your house is evicted and you also had, maybe it was, you had one house, it had people, Ugandans always build at the back, it is a family house. At the front, there is a shop.
There's a shop.
So they evict, they break down all the entire house. So you find out that you're affected both by shelter and also economically.
Sure.
Yeah. So you must start. It's like starting on zero, but there is need for an inclusive dialogue with these affected communities.
Okay. Now, from the civil society aspect, have you tried to engage NEMA? Are you in talks?
By sending out a press release, that is one of the approaches we've used.
Okay.
But maybe, sometimes it is hard to deal with government agencies. They may not want to listen to you because they feel like, and for the civil society, they look at us as noisemakers, but we're really not noisemakers, but we are just trying to put out, what those people can tell you. We are trying to be the voice for the voiceless. So I think if maybe the press release doesn't work, then we can call for, inclusive talks, and we have a talk with NEMA if they say yes to a proposal. NEMA. If they say yes to a proposal, then we can talk and see how we can help these affected communities, because we really appreciate their work. We've been on their neck for the protection of the environment, but also we also need to have a kind of that angle of human rights. Yes.
Okay. Now, why I raise that is I want to see, at least can we see hope that the people's rights are going to be respected?
For now, for now, I don't see, but with time, I think people should just trust us, and it's a process. Just like any other thing, if we really want something to work out, it's always a process. So we have to go through, just like I told you, it's now a press release, and if it doesn't work out, we have to have a strategy or a way that we can get to NEMA so that we can ask, at least, let them have a talk with the affected communities, and we see where we can have an agreement and where everyone can benefit. We want us to benefit environmental-wise, but also human rights section. We just want justice for everyone, justice for all and everywhere. As much as we want to protect the environment, because that is our main goal. We want to protect the environment, but also let's respect human rights in all our actions and all our operations.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's look at these ones that have been left standing. Is it an aspect of corruption? Is it an aspect of this one is connected to a big person? Is it an aspect of this building is for a government official?
I don't really know, because now that is a question that NEMA has to answer. We need to ask them why they have managed to leave a fuel petrol station standing, and they've evicted domestic homes. Okay, maybe they're going to give us the same reason of they have a permit, but I don't think that is a really a vital reason right now. What we need, I think, we should come to terms and come up with a policy that doesn't allow any permissions in the wetlands.
The wetlands.
Because you're not going to tell me that because it is a fuel station and it employs people, so we are going to leave them to encroach the wetland. You get? If we want something, let's all go for it. But not going for it and then you're doing a selective kind of effort. That's not good.
I'm pretty sure you could have been following this. Do you think the time given to these people who are being evicted was enough?
I don't think. Because if literally our economic status is so low, many Ugandans are out there they are suffering. These are people who actually, you find that in a day, someone makes 5,000 or less, but they have a family to run. You get?
Yes.
So, if you give me only 21 days, or even if 1 month, it is not enough. Looking at our economic status, that is not enough. So I think we should just have some adjustment in our policies and make sure that in whatever adjustments we make, let there be quality, transparency, and integrity. Yes.
For all.
For all.
Very interesting. Yes, we have had this issue affecting so many, majorly, just like Miss Rosette is telling us, majorly those who do not earn so much. So you can call them the vulnerable. And you have seen so many. Yes, for those who are on socials, you have been seeing a certain petrol station being highlighted that it is in the same place of those that are being evicted, but it still stands. And now that raises so many questions of who are the owners of this and why are they not being touched when it comes to implementing this eviction to everyone. Yes, if it is the permits they have, who gives out the permits? If, like just Ms. Rosette is also saying, the permits are not supposed to be given if it is an aspect of conserving the environment. So all those are questions to be answered well, but not by us alone, but also you and also the concerned stakeholders, which is NEMA in this particular scenario. We are going in for a very short break and return with more about this discussion.
Issues at hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Comfort and luxury at its best.
Issues at Hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Comfort and luxury at its best.
Welcome back. You're still watching Issues at Hand here at Church of Uganda Family TV, and remember, we are powered by Protea Hotel by Marriott in Entebbe. Reach out to them. They have a very interesting service offer to you. And here today we are discussing about the plight of wetland encroachers here in Uganda. Specifically, we are talking about the Luigi evictions that are happening. Were they proper? Are they appropriate? If it is, yes, they were proper. What next for those who are evicted and all that? So, and with me today in studio is Miss Rosette Nandutu, who is the Executive Director of VIDEA, one of groups that uphold environmental values, one of the non-government organizations, you can say, we can call them the voice of the voiceless, just like she was noting here. So I have a question to you, Miss Rosette. Yes. What can be done specifically by you, the environmental activists, to create a harmonized ground between the policymakers, which is NEMA, and those who settle in wetlands?
I think our job comes in with the mobilization. I think we should, as we continue with the mobilization efforts to help the victims, we should just have uneven engagement, okay, with NEMA, the civil society, and also include the affected communities, because these are the people that we are going to talk about, we are going to decide for, so they need to be in the decision-making process. So I think we should just man up our mobilization efforts and get to NEMA, because we are demanding equality here. So we don't need to do it violently, as they seem to look at us. Okay. We don't need to do it violently. We promise NEMA that we shall be at our best. We shall act accordingly. And what we just demand from NEMA is for it to operate in an even-handed manner. That the evictions can happen. We shall actually help them. But as long as they are evicting everyone, regardless of their social or economic status. Yes. And
what role can local communities play in having these wetlands protected?
I think when it comes to local communities now, we during our projects, we always work with the local authorities. Because you know how communities work. If you just go and they will actually think you are a rebel or something. Ugandans are very insecure. So you have to work with the local authorities, and now it's the local authorities to help us and do the mobilization together with us as well. And we have those inclusive engagement with the local communities. And now the local communities, where it comes in, where they have to help us, is they need to know that we are not just doing it for ourselves. Because when you go to some villages, people think you're doing those projects because you want money. No, we are not looking for money here. It's not about money here, but it's about the environment and also our well-being as people, and also the animals that we, that are for the good of us. So we just want everything to be, in a very human way, that everyone thinks for themselves and others, that whatever they do, they are doing it for themselves, their family and friends. You get? So when we call upon the local communities to come and join us, and maybe in tree planting, in curbing the illegal sand mining, like now in River Rizi, we just need you to have that kind of human in you, that if this wetland is degraded, then I am going to suffer. Don't think that if you degrade the wetland, tomorrow someone else is going to suffer on your behalf. No. If I degrade a wetland now in my home, in my home village, in Manafa, if I degrade a wetland, then it is me, my mother, my family, and my community around that is going to suffer. Not someone in Kitugum or someone in Kasese that is going to suffer on my behalf. So your immediate response to what is close to you, is what helps you. Okay. So let's just be vigilant and do everything for our good. Let's not be mean when it comes to the environment. Because if we protect it, then we are going to enjoy it. But if we don't, then we are going to suffer. If you look at the floods that have been happening around the country, we are singing government yetuyambe, government yetuyambe. But yes, the government has to come in and help us. But it's our collective effort that is going to give them that is going to bring that positive response from the government. Okay. So it's just all about collective effort and having the humanity when it comes to the environment and also upholding human rights in all our operations and work. Yes.
Do the locals know the importance of these wetlands? How can awareness be raised more?
With what is going on, I don't think they have enough knowledge about the importance of wetlands. So there is need be for more awareness to be raised among these local communities, and that can only be done if the government is willing to, to work with us. Because we may sometimes, when we go to those villages and local communities and we want to raise awareness, we may look at they called us. Someone said the civil society baliba mandas. Anyway, what I'm talking about here is that we need to raise more awareness about environmental protection, but it has to be a collective effort, the civil society, the government, so that we can engage the local communities. So it is for the best of all of us. It's just a collective effort needed here. Tulekerawo ebyokuba obukokola nti ono muli w'amandazi, they are doing this because they bafunirawo this one ate tulekerawo gamambo ate. We need to stop this thing of government etuyambe. It's now we are now on our own. I told someone, I think with all these scandals going on in Uganda, I've reached a point where I feel like
everyone is fighting their own battles.
Yes. So if you don't fight for yourself, then no one is going to fight for you. So if someone comes to you and they are like, I want to fight for you, give them the that positive response. Partner with them. Come together, sit and talk and see what you can be able to do. Like we always tell government, it is okay. We are not at government, we are not fighting you, but we are actually helping you on this end. We are bridging that gap, between the Umuntu and then the government. So we just need that inclusive decision-making kind of platform, policy making. We just need inclusivity in everything and justice in everything, and everything will be well.
So what then should government do to avoid future occupations by illegal occupations actually in these wetlands?
Yes, I think just like...
Because even land is getting done. We are making use of every land. Our population is growing.
True. Yes, I think just like I said before, we should not, I feel like we should completely not have the so-called certificates, permission and approval from anyone or any entity to occupy a wetland. As long as it is a wetland, I think we should not have any permits. Because this is why people are being evicted. You're going to evict people and people are telling you, we've been here for years, we've been here for decades, and now people are questioning themselves. These people said they've been here for years. How did they acquire the permits in a wetland?
Some of them say they are older than NEMA.
Exactly. Now, to avoid such comments and kinds of situations, I think we should just stop having permissions. having those permits, certificates of approval, whatever it is that NEMA gives to people to permit them to, to be in the wetlands. I think we should just stop. That will solve everything. But if we continue that this one has a permit, this one doesn't have, and that's why they will say maybe that is why we are coming up with the injustice kind of talk. But no, I think we should just stop having permits. And I saw, I think it was Jim Spire, Dr. Jim Spire. He was asking NEMA about Speak Resort Millennium. Why NEMA? For him, he feels like they were turning a blind eye upon Speak, and then they're evicting these people. So NEMA responded in a manner that these people were given a permit because they were doing, I think, a work that was going to support the NAM Summit. So I think we should just not have permits for such excuses to come out, and people feel like, okay, they are leaving Speak Resort, they are degraded.
But do these permits expire, or you are there for a lifetime?
I think as long as you give a good engagement,
you're there. You're safe. Okay, let's talk about environmental conservation. Are the current policies that the government is having effective? Are they even enough?
I think government has enough of the policies, though there is more need for adjustment in some. But government having a voice, it is having a voice, but then the implementation is less. If I'm to give a percentage out of 10, the voice is 10%, then the implementation is at 1 or 2%. It could be.
Wow.
Because we had the president ban charcoal production, but do you know that people still do that? And because it is
a business,
it looks
big
like
business.
It is the easiest way for the people in town. And people are still cutting down trees. People are still cutting down our natural forests for
actually,
firewood, timber and everything.
One interesting one is you find charcoal sacks piled just before the forest, and you're sure where they
By
get
the
that
roadside.
from. Yeah, by the roadside, mostly on highways.
Exactly. And just meters away or kilometers away, you'll find traffic police.
Exactly.
So sometimes these things are very confusing. That is why I'm telling you the echoing of the implementation, the echoing of the policies is at 10%, but the implementation of these policies and rules is low. When you say you are banning charcoal production, then look at how you're going to create awareness in those local communities about this policy or ban that you've put on charcoal production, and give them alternative cooking fuel or kind of strategies or what.
Okay.
For us, I remember when we went to Hoima for some project in partnership with Citizens Concern, Aura, and Nature Talk. We were teaching those people in Chakaboga resettlement how to make briquettes, because actually these are oil-affected communities.
Okay.
So they were resettled in Chakaboga. Chakaboga resettlement. And now, if these people, remember these are people you've carried from the village deep down there. You brought them to somewhere where, because when the neighbors the neighboring villages had that they were bringing some people to resettle here, they cleared the entire place. There was nothing like a tree. So these people came and settled there. There was no source of fuel, cooking fuel, firewood or charcoal or what. You get? So this kind of situation actually now comes comes along with consequences like gender-based violence. Because now these women have to trek and go. There is a forest, but it is very far. They have to trek to that point to go and
Fetch
get firewood. The same does with their water. So at some point, I think there's a gap between you putting up the policies and then implementing them. The percentage of implementation is very low. So government should just put more effort on the implementation.
Okay.
When they pass a law, they should put more effort on implementation. And also, they make sure that their kind of approach of implementation should be in line with the needs of the communities, so that we don't have such situations like the Lubigi wetland.
Wow. What challenges have you encountered in your fight or in your ways of conserving the environment?
Of course, we've had something, just like I told you, the knowledge gap with these local communities. And now, also you have to sometimes when you're going to carry out projects, what these CSOs don't tell you, when you're going to carry out those projects, you must do a baseline survey just for security purposes. Because you'll find these people, you want to carry out a project, let me say tree planting, and they are telling you, we don't want, you just want to take our land, something like that. You get? So we've faced challenges with the knowledge gap mostly. And also, it also comes in with now, like how NEMA has come in with a kind of uneven kind of manner for the evictions. So when we are carrying out our work, you find it that now these people, the affected communities will be like, now the government is taking us away, there is nothing you're doing for us. You get? So we are finding a challenge helping these people, getting to the needs of these people. If institutions, government institutions like NEMA are not working with us to find a very suitable and inclusive manner to handle such situations.
Okay.
You get? We both need the environment. We do so much, 100%.
Okay.
It is one of our efforts. But how are we protecting the environment? How are we fighting for it?
Okay.
Yes.
So how can we strike a balance between the developmental needs and conserving the environment?
I think we should just like I said, one of it is the policies that we come up with. We should align our policies, rules, laws, and everything. We should align them with the community needs.
Okay.
We should also do more of awareness creation. We should have community engagement. We should have that inclusive stakeholder community engagement. We should include everyone, no matter their social or economic status. Because we don't want other people to benefit and others are being affected. Yes.
Okay, as we wind up, kindly tell us what VIDEA is, what VIDEA does, why VIDEA, where VIDEA is found.
Okay, VIDEA, first of all, Vijana.
Vijana.
Do you know the meaning of Vijana?
I am kind of familiar
With, okay.
the pronunciation.
Vijana means young people.
Not watoto.
Vijana.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Vijana for Sustainable Development and Environmental Action, and we came into existence, that was 2020, so it's now 5 years down the road with our good work.
Okay.
And we are found, our offices are in Nigeria, but we work, that is Nigeria Buwate, Kira municipality. So we work hand in hand with young people and women. We empower them to be the good and creative agents of change of tomorrow. We empower them to advocate for equality, defend their rights and the rights of others, and also protect and promote environmental conservation.
Okay.
Yes. So we most of our work is along the focus of human rights and environmental protection and social justice, anything to do with that, we are good to go. Yeah.
Okay. So as we wind up, what message do you have to policymakers, communities, implementers, and all that in regards to environmental conservation, but specifically about the topic we have been discussing here today?
So my message goes to NEMA and other government institutions. When you're carrying out operations, please let your operations be done in an even-handed manner that everyone benefits regardless of their economic or social status. And when it comes to environmental protection, when you're doing the evictions operations, please evict everyone. Do not evict some and leave some. And we think maybe at some point, somewhere, somehow, someday, we should just stop having the permits for people to, to occupy the wetlands. We should stop having permits, because that is one of the reasons why we are having some situations like this.
Okay.
Yeah, so to the communities and stakeholders, policymakers, and civil society, and the government as well. I think it is just a collective effort, and we are requesting that maybe NEMA gives us a chance to engage with them and see how we can work together to see that we help these affected people and also uphold environmental conservation.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rosette Nandutu, who is the Executive Director of VIDEA for Sustainable Development and Environmental Action. She told me to emphasize that, and I did, surely. So we appreciate that you gave us your time to discuss about this pressing issue regarding the evictions, but also, most importantly, the wetland encroachment, which is very rampant, not only by even the vulnerable, but even those who are well off, because they want lands to put up industries and all that. But where does that leave the environment? Where does that leave the future generation? Because if we take off this, trust me, then we are also taking off the future. Well, we had some time back, we hosted someone here, and they told us, anytime if you encroach on a wetland, it never forgets where it passes. It will come back. And that was during the floods we had here in Kampala, that we encroached on that Lugogo side. We encroached on the wetland, but when it comes back the rough way. So it is a call to everyone. Otherwise, we could hear you crying the next day that floods are killing us, what, and whatsoever. But it is you who has encroached on the wetland. So we appreciate that you joined us today, and truly appreciate also Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe, which is giving us the fuel to speak here. You can call them for booking and reservations. The numbers are just down there below the screen. My name is Luke Majumba Alinaito, and I want to wish you a lovely day.
Issues at hand.